It's a moment we've all been waiting for. Test cricket gets underway for India and Australia after a forced break due to a virus that we all want to say go away to. But anyways, Test cricket is back. The Border-Gavaskar Trophy is back. And I'm really excited ahead of the first Test match at Adelaide. Two very special people here with me. This chat is powered to you, of course, by the Global Cricket School. And I've got the man himself from the Global Cricket School, Sachin Bajaj, who shares a great relationship with Australia. And I've also got with me someone who knows Adelaide in and out, the cricket ground and the city. He's represented Australia in 27 test matches as a left-handed opening batsman, also an occasional wicketkeeper, and 48 one-day internationals. Wayne Phillips joins us all the way from Adelaide ahead of the first test match. So Sachin and Wayne, thank you so much for joining us today for this chat as we look ahead to the first test match.
Really happy to be on the show.
Perfect. Now, Wayne, firstly, I want to start with you because they say that there are three things that are certainties in life. One is death, second is taxation, and the third is a century at the Adelaide Oval. How true is that?
I'm fortunate enough to have enjoyed two of those so far. Not the first one. It was so very, very lucky. My taxation, I think I've met the requirements there. And certainly playing at the Adelaide Oval, it's quite close. Sachin knows where I live and we're just down the road from the Adelaide Oval, and to go there and to know my way around is just wonderful, mate. And to get 100 there and get a couple of those is just beautiful. And I know how much Australia is looking forward to the Test match happening in a couple of days' time, and I have no doubt that Virat Kohli and the Indian team is similarly enthused about playing there. It's a beautiful facility. We're very, very excited to have it. And the first test of the series, the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, it's going to be a ripper.
Wayne, you played at a time when the India-Australia rivalry was just about growing. Possibly the seeds were sown at that time. You came to India in 1984, and I remember Heath Streak telling me that it's an experience playing here in India and interacting with a cricket-crazy public. So what are your memories or any funny stories that you had during your visits here to India?
Not so many funny stories, just wonderful experiences. I had no idea. I'm a local kid from little old Adelaide, and to find yourself in that Australian team and travelling to that part of the world, and such wonderful history and such wonderful experiences there. And just to walk down the street and have people, obviously recognise who you might be and why you're there and that type of thing. And to play there and just the sheer passion for the game of cricket that is so evident there in India. And it's a tough place to play, but it is a wonderful experience. And I've had wonderful memories and very fortunate to have established some terrific relationships, which I've maintained, one of which is in this little chat, who's not the best relationship I've got, but I've still got it, and I guess I've just got to put up with that.
Sachin,
not the worst either.
What have you got to say? You've been traveling to Adelaide for quite a while, and you've known Flipper for many years now, and your experiences in Adelaide, and having been someone from India who initially watched Test cricket being beamed live from Australia and then going there and watching yourself.
When I'm in Adelaide, I have a presidential suite at the Flipper Palace. That's Wayne's lovely house here. So I've been at the guest at the Flipper Palace on and off over the last 24 years. I've known Flipper now from 1995 when I met him during World Masters cricket, and it's such a great city. It's got some of the finest people. Early memories of going to Adelaide was when I was with the Cricket Club of India team out there. And I was billeted with a gentleman called Jack Garrett, and he took me down to his Kensington Cricket Club. I still remember Neil Hawke. The nets were inaugurated. Neil Hawke nets were inaugurated. Norman O'Neill, and there's all those old connections there. Dr. Oaten, and some great memories of Adelaide. I've enjoyed watching Sheffield Shield cricket there. I've enjoyed watching Test cricket there. I've enjoyed watching ODIs there. And being a student of this game and following the history, Vijay Hazare's 200s in 1948 come to mind straight away. Also, Sunny Gavaskar's, I think it was his 31st Test 100, where he got hit and came back and was, I think, 160 odd not out. Great memories from Adelaide. Azharuddin's 100, where we lost the test match by 35 or 40 runs. I think that might have been 1991 or 92, one of those years.
That's right. That's the tour, yes.
Sandeep Patil's 174. Yeah. Incidentally, I'm publishing Sandeep Patil's book, and there's a whole chapter on that innings of his in that book. Yeah, Chetan Chauhan's 97 in that series. I mean, for Sandeep to have got that 100 coming back after Lenny Pascoe hit him in the head in the previous test match, it required a lot of guts. And obviously the test match where Ajit Agarkar got 6 wickets and we won, where Dravid got a big 100 and a 70 and Lakshman got another 100. And it's been fantastic. I've seen Buff lead the South Australian team there also. Darren Lehman, great memories. Always been hosted well there by Flipper, by people like Darren Lehman. Flipper, you remember Crouch from the academy, right? The boxing coach?
Oh, very much so, yeah. Great influence.
Great man.
Great fun to be involved in. As you mentioned, Sachin, yeah, sadly no longer with us. And yeah, very, very sad. But a beauty, and love being involved with the cricket and being involved with people, and a great influence.
You, Sachin, you just spoke about Sunil Gavaskar's 166, and also in the same test match, Kapil Dev got 8 wickets. When you played that test match, what are your memories of playing that test match at Adelaide against that Indian lineup comprising the likes of Gavaskar and Kapil Dev?
Look, a tremendous side, and look, I know it's important that we do acknowledge the wonderful contribution that Sunil Gavaskar has made to not only Indian cricket but global cricket, and similarly with Alan Border captaining Australia and playing so well and now we play for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. I mean, it's fantastic. They are wonderful names, and to have played with and against both of them, both gentlemen who played the game exactly in the right spirit as it should be played. But it was an amazing situation. I was wicket keeping at the time, and it was I was out there. We didn't quite get through the Indian lineup as quickly as we'd hoped. I think they might have got 500 or 600, something like that. And they eventually said, look, have a breather. And it created the David Boone and Jeff Marsh opening partnership. I had a spell, and that they moved Marshy up and said, you have a go at it, that's fine. And it created one of the great opening partnerships of all time for Australian cricket, the two right-handers, Boone and Marsh. Thank goodness for India.
But tell me, you were saying you were wicket keeping, but throughout your career you were also made to don the gloves. Was it difficult for you personally, considering also, I think at one point the Australian PM Bob Hawke also in a sense reached out and said possibly you were being pressured because of the gloves?
Look, it wasn't ideal. I mean, I suppose from a preference point of view, the way it came about, becoming the Australian wicketkeeper was crazy. Rod Marsh announced his retirement, and Roger Woolley was the one who'd been selected as the replacement. And unfortunately for Roger, he broke a finger as we went to the West Indies, broke a finger in the lead-in game, and someone had to keep, and that became me. And whilst I probably not my first pick, but I was getting to play for Australia in cricket. Well, it gets no better than that. You don't want anything other than that. And do you want to play or do you not want to play? Well, I'm playing. And to do that as keeper, well, that was fine. And yeah, perhaps it wasn't ideal for me, and certainly some of the spinners probably didn't think it was ideal either, the Australian spinners. But to get to play for Australia, it gets no better than that. There's no bigger thrill, and I was happy to do it.
Talking about the West Indies, you just spoke about touring there, and you got a century there, a big one at that, and managed to hit 4 sixes and I think 11 boundaries. Not bad against the likes of Michael Holding and company, is it?
Yeah, not too bad. Yes, I'm very, very happy to talk about it. I know we've only got a few minutes, but it was pretty special. And yeah, I think Michael Holding, the great man, and Joel Garner, of course, and Malcolm Marshall, to get them all over the boundary in one innings was fantastic. And yeah, a lot of people talk about it, and I'm very happy to be involved in that discussion, because it was pretty neat, and they were very firm. They were great opponents, but they were pretty genuine as well. And yeah, to have now Sir Viv Richards acknowledge it, and Clive Lloyd to do that, and Desi and Gordon opening the batting, of course, was wonderful. So at Barbados, it's a very, very special memory to have been there and to have done that, and to have the opportunity to talk about it. It's got a lot better since those days. Wow. And I can stretch this out for a long time, that century there. It's a really.
Sachin, now coming back to the year 2020, India is finally playing a test match after their tour to New Zealand. A lot of debates surrounding the opening partnership because Rohit Sharma is yet to join the squad, although he's already left. He's got to complete the quarantine, etc. What, according to you, should be the ideal opening combination, and also the wicket-keeper that India should choose?
I think Saha is a traditional test match keeper. I'd go with Saha. And batting-wise, I'd throw Prithvi Shaw in. He's a hard-nosed Bombay cricketer. He's from the traditional batting school. Bombay cricket to India is what New South Wales cricket is to Australia. So I'd go with Prithvi Shaw to open.
Right. Flipper, in Australia, we've seen a few injuries. Moses Henriques has come into the squad. David Warner is not available. Joe Burns is out of form. How do you see this Australian batting order in particular shape up ahead of the first test?
Look, and that's going to be the very interesting one. I mean, it's only now 2 days away. And you know, when you mentioned Moses Henriques comes into that squad, I mean, they're here, they're in a hub. So there must be about 15 or 16 that are in here, in Adelaide. And look, I don't think Justin Langer, and I don't think Tim Payne, I don't think the other, Trevor Hones, the chairman of selectors, I don't think they've got it right just yet. So it's going to be a real decision that needs to be made as to what that lineup is going to be. And so important, under lights, a home test match, Border-Gavaskar Trophy, set the trend how to do it. And they're going to be guessing. So we haven't played a lot of first-class cricket, a lot of 4-day cricket at all. And look, the lead in Australia A against India A in Sydney the last few days, that didn't help the Australian selectors at all. So I really do think there's going to be some guessing as to what that makeup is going to be. And I doubt if it's going to be based on pure form. Well, it can't be based on form because there isn't any form to go to. So that's Cameron Green getting hit, and all of these sorts of things that are just challenging our national selectors to get that side right. I've got the pleasure of having to chat with Justin Langer tomorrow at a function in Adelaide, and I'll be asking him the same question you've asked me, and I'd be very surprised if he's got a clinical answer as to what the makeup, that final 11 for Australia will be.
It's interesting, isn't it? And Sachin, you will remember Moses Henriques coming in from his tour to India in 2013 when he started off on tough wickets. We felt he was someone who could really grit it out and grind it out for Australia in the middle order.
I'm a very big fan of Moses. I've run into him many times in the cafes at Coogee and Clovelly on my visits. A really likable guy. He's a true blues bagger. He's another one from the hard school of cricket, New South Wales. He's grown up in Sydney, great cricket. I'd put him in a test match. He bats at 8, good. He'll hold the lower order when you need some runs. He goes and bowls a bit of seam up. He'll trouble our batsmen moves the ball a bit. He's temperamentally a very strong cricketer. I think if I was Justin, I'd gamble on playing Moses in there.
Flipper, your view on the same? Maybe getting a Moses Henriques in and adding that all first-class experience into the middle order?
Well, look, that's what it's going to be. What's that makeup of the side going to be? But let's try and, what the national selectors are desperate for, the players to be performing to the level where we can't leave you out. Well, there's probably only about 7 or 8 that might do that. So there's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 positions that they're going to be tossing up as to what they're going to be. And the best formula and the best format to try and win a pink ball test match at the Adelaide Oval. So, Nathan Lyon plays, the Quicks play, we know that, of course. Tim Payne plays with the gloves. Smith is going to play. Marnus Labuschagne will be there as well. So we know all of those are going to be there, but there's just a few questions still to be asked. And look, we just don't know. Conditions will come into it. We're expecting really good weather and great conditions. But who is going to fill those last couple of spots? Look, I just can't give you any clinical answer at all. I'm sorry.
And the pink ball, Sachin, please go ahead.
Flipper, do you reckon Wade opening is an option?
Oh, very much so. I mean, and that's why I can only spend another 8 minutes with you, because they're looking for a quality left-handed bat as an opener who could come in and fill that spot. And I did that myself. I just wonder if they might be trying to ring me and, get myself down to Adelaide Oval and play. I'm available.
That's very. And if you're available, how will you tackle the pink ball? That was my next question.
Yeah, not much strength. Let's find out. Yeah, happy to do that.
But the pink ball has added the challenge for batsmen, hasn't it?
Very much so. Yeah, it's got some genuinely quite different characteristics than we know of the red ball, the traditional Test match cricket ball, of course, different to the white ball as well. But yeah, just and that's it's an amazing situation. The ball, the cricket ball, and the impact it has on the game, those characteristics. So yeah, players aren't used to it at all. There hasn't been too many of them around, and the bowlers like it. They can get it to shape and that type of thing. So it's going to be very interesting. And no one's mastered it from a batting point of view at all. It just continues to ask questions. And I'm sure it'll do that later in the evening sessions. And certainly as the pitch starts to deteriorate, Nathan Lyon very, very comfortable bowling with it as well. So I have no issue there with the GOAT. He'll be fine.
He used to prepare those pitches back in the day in Adelaide.
Again?
I said he was involved with the ground staff at the Sacca at some stage.
It is an amazing story for him to, Nathan Lyon, who came across from Canberra and was looking to do something, and they put him on at the Adelaide Oval as a groundsman, assistant ground staff and on the mower and doing that. And now, of course, got picked up and they had a bowl to the guys in the nets. And he looks all right, this kid. He was just having his lunch break, so he landed him okay. And look, they just got very, very comfortable with how he went about it. Got himself into the state side, got himself into the Australian side, and well, he's the GOAT. There's no doubt about that. He's a beauty, mate, and he loves coming back to Adelaide, obviously, because it was a great start to his career.
Then, Sachin, anything you would like to ask Wayne in terms of the first test? Any questions you have in mind?
Only one question. Are you joining Jack Clark and Bacchus to drink some red at the Test match?
Well, I'll be there in an official capacity and representing the South Australian Cricket Association, and as part of that responsibility, I'll certainly be joining them for some refreshments at some stage.
Tell them their old friend from India will be cheering them on from here. I'll have Pepper Jack Shiraz ready by my side, but I will not be cheering for my old mate JL. I'll be cheering for my CCI cricket captain Ravi Shastri.
You do that, mate, but I'll make sure I let them know that I've been in touch, and we're very lucky. We've been invited by the South Australian Cricket Association. Myself and Janine are going on Saturday, so we'll be enjoying the hospitality of the Sacca, and they will be there, and I'll make sure that they know that I've chatted with you, pal.
And finally, I would put you both on the spot. Flipper, if you have to pick possibly the winner for the first test, just on a hunch. I know there are a lot of uncertainties with regards to team compositions, etc. But what do you think? Just on a hunch, whom would you pick up as your winner for the first test?
The home side, Australia, it knows so much about, I think it knows a little better than our visitors and than India. India will be a terrific side, no doubt. Virat will have them playing well, but I just think Australia, with its knowledge of Adelaide, the conditions, the pink ball and its facilities, I just think they'll come into that match expecting to play pretty well. I'm going to make sure that they get home, don't you worry. But importantly, gamble responsibly.
Sachin, your pick will surely be your Ravi Shastri 11, I'm sure.
No, my heart says India. But why I say Australia is the favourite to win the Test match? home advantage. The Indian team has hardly had no pink ball, stroke, red ball, long format cricket. They've come straight from the IPL. The Sheffield Shield has been running, and a lot of the Aussie players have been part of the Sheffield Shield. Hence, they have played more of the longer format. So their preparation, they've had a longer run-in to the Test series in terms of long format cricket. So, I think they are favourites, but never count Ravi Shastri out of a fight.
Good point.
Of course. And on that note, I would also agree with Sachin, because obviously my heart also says India, but I think that Australia have the edge this time, certainly because I just feel they've had more pink ball cricket than India have. India have just played the one test match, which was against Bangladesh last year. And other than that, although a few domestic tournaments were played with the pink ball, not a lot of the big stars necessarily played those tournaments. So, I think Australia have the edge on that front, in spite of their top order not yet being settled. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Sachin, I know you will be watching the test match quite intently from your home, and Wayne will be representing you and all of us in at the Adelaide Oval, having a good time, and I hope you have a good match over there.
Betcha we do. And thanks so much. Really enjoyed the chat. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy.
Flipper, my best to Janine.
Happy to pass that on. She's just sneaking down the passage now. Will do.
Our big boss.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen. See you another time.